And good afternoon, and welcome to the Michelle Nastasis LGBT Awareness Show. For our first segment this morning, or this afternoon, excuse me, we're going to play an interview that I taped a couple of days ago with one of the leading trans advocates in the country, KarenAdell Scot. And what she has to say is really backing up some of the things that we have talked about over the last month or so. And Bill, if you would, go ahead and play that for us. And welcome to the Michelle Nastasis LGBT Awareness Show. With us today is one of the leading trans advocates in the United States. And I'm hoping I'm getting this right, Karen.
It's really easy.
It's Karen,
you call me Karen.
Okay.
KarenAdell Scot. Yep.
First off, I want to thank you for appearing on our show today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Okay. I talked to some mutual friends of ours, Zora Zindel and Randy Stahl, and they both said to say hello to you when I got you
that's
here.
nice. You know, Zora just had his birthday.
Yes, I do. This past weekend.
I teased him. I said, "You're 19 again."
19 again. That's
he
right.
He wished he was 19 again.
Yeah, he wishes. And I love Zoya, so I think. Okay. First off, again, I want to thank you for appearing on our show today. Let me start my questions to you as we'll start at the very beginning. Okay. What has your journey been like as a trans woman?
Well, long, because I was born myself. My first memories of myself were that I was a little girl, and I knew I was a little girl. And for people born in the 1950s, if you know you're a little girl and you're starting to move into the 60s, people don't get it.
Exactly.
And my mother would look at me and she would say, you know, "Come on into the front room, little boy." And I would look at her and I say, "No, Mommy, I dirl, Mommy." And so my journey as a transgender human being started in my first cognitive self-aware memories. I was a girl, and I knew it. I knew I was a girl, and I would lay in bed every night, and I would tuck myself and push my ribs out because I knew that God loved me, and I would be changed before morning to look like my mommy. And I was so confused when I would wake up every day and still have the wrong body. And it was a very, very shocking thing. And so the journey was 50 years long, and I needed to be myself or die. And so I chose to live. And on April 21st of 2013, driving home from getting a gallon of milk at the store, I decided I have to become authentic. I have to become real. I have to align my body with my mind, with my brain. And as it was born, and I said, I have to be myself. And I had a wave of peace flow over my body, and I laughed and I cried, and I had to pull the car over because I was weeping with joy so uncontrollably that I had to pull the car over and stop or I was going to crash. And if you know the mountain roads up, by Bass Lake, you got to pull over,
Yes.
And so, and then I went home and I informed my wife who I was, and that didn't work out, So I'm now divorced. But my whole life I wanted to be me, and I now am. I'm myself. And for anyone who doesn't understand the feeling that transgender people feel, if they don't understand, they need to understand. If they've ever gone swimming in the ocean and the waves are really big and they get rolled under a wave and their waves are keeping you under and you're swimming and you're swimming and you're swimming to try to make it to the surface, you don't even know which way is up. Sometimes you smash your face into the sand and you're running out of air and you're suffocating and you're frantic.
Yep.
An untransitioned transgender person, that is how they feel. And for those of you out there in TV land that don't know what it feels like, it's like getting rolled in a gigantic tsunami. I say getting rolled in a tsunami, and you can't get to the surface. No. The only way to get to the surface is to transition. And that night on April 21st, I swam to the top of the wave. I made it.
I'm one of
It
the
was
few
awesome.
that understands that, because on April the 21st of 2009, I started my transition.
Same
so
day.
I understand it.
That's awesome.
Okay. I understand that you gave a talk at Fresno State this past weekend?
That's last Thursday.
Last Thursday.
Yeah, it was the October 9th. It was wonderful. They put me in one of their largest venues, which was North Gym 218, and it seats 200 people,
Yeah.
and it was packed out. It was packed out. The whole back of the room, people were sitting all on the floor on the back of the room. Tons of cameras, TV stations were there. One gentleman was tweeting everything I said. He was
Yeah.
tweeting everything I said. It was so exciting. And I had a great time. What a great event. Just the start of many.
And that leads me into a couple of other questions for you. The first question I want to ask you is about your work as a trans advocate. I think I saw on Facebook this morning, when I was just back checking everything, that you're going to University of Nevada, Reno.
That's right.
What?
In November.
In November?
Yeah, hopefully early November. We're still yet to get the exact date down, but I'm hoping to speak at University of Nevada, Reno, and it's going to be a lot of fun. One of my former students is in her doctoral program up there, and so she invited me, and then they're working with the department now to make it a well-advertised event, because hopefully we can get, the more people we can get to know what's going on with transgender people in the United States, the more chance we have to cut down on the violence against
Yes.
us, and that's what we could talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
We're very invisible as a minority. We're very, very invisible, and the time has come to just ratchet up the visibility and to ratchet up people talking about the real people that we are.
Exactly.
We are.
Exactly.
Because they continuously try to say, well, what's it like in your pants? Or, they give you all the crazy questions about, do you still have a penis? Just crazy questions.
Yeah, and that goes right along with the segment that we did on this show a couple of weeks back about, and we did it tongue in cheek, called the 13 questions that you never ask a trans
Yes.
woman. And one of the questions was, do you still have your penis?
Yeah.
And
Do they ask any other woman what she's like inside of her pants?
Yeah.
Do they ask any other man what he's like inside of his pants? No, they
No.
don't. Because when anybody thinks of us, they think of us incorrectly. They think of us the transgender women are men pretending to be women, and transgender men are women pretending to be men. And it's absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. And that goes all the way back to the biological basis for who we are.
Yeah.
Tremendous research that's been done all around the world, from China through Europe, through the United States. Just tremendous research about when our brains are formed transgender. And it's the 4th month inside the womb of our mothers. It's a biological basis. You can take an MRI and you can scan the brain of a transgender woman, and doggone if it isn't going to look exactly like the brain of a non-trans woman.
Exactly.
And the brain of a transgender man is going to look exactly like the brain of a man, either gay or straight. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's going to look like their brain. In fact, some of the studies have shown that the trans man's brain is more masculine in its sections than even the non-trans man.
Yes.
So there's a biological basis for who we are. And what I like to do is, when I'm starting my talk, I say, we're the flight attendant in the aircraft. We're the doctor that you're visiting at the doctor's office. We're the nurse in the hospital that sits with you. We're the lawyer that might represent you on a case. We might be the person that packs your groceries in the store. We might be a person that pulls you over in a police vehicle to ask you why you ran the stop sign. That's who we are. We're not what's in our pants. We're human beings. We have hopes. We have dreams. We have thoughts. We have loves. We have cares. We are deep feelers. And the pants thing needs to be chucked in the back. And what I'm doing is I'm working on a paradigm shift across the United States. The paradigm shift needs to be this. And if you're looking out there, you need to understand transgender men and transgender women are born. We are born. And from the time that I was in my mother's womb, created, until now, as you see me now, I always was a woman. Even when I was presenting as a man, I was a woman. And this paradigm shift on transgender people is as profound a paradigm shift as when people stopped calling African American people the N-word and started to realize that they were amazing human beings and their color had nothing to do with what amazing human beings that they were, and that anything that was demeaning or disregarded their humanity, that was dehumanizing to them, caused them to be targets of violence. And it's the same way with transgender women and men. It's the same way, especially with transgender women of color. Transgender women make up 53% of the murders of all the LGBT community. And you guys, that's 10 million people. But we make up over half of the murders, and we're only 0.3%. And so my paradigm shift is this. We need to realize that transgender human beings, and I keep using the word human being because we are human beings. Transgender human beings are the gender that they present, and they always were. If someone was to take me out on a date and they were a man, they would be going out on a date with a heterosexual woman, and if they had a relationship with me, they'd be having a heterosexual relationship. Transgender women are women. Transgender men are men. That's the paradigm shift. And if we start thinking about that the women are women and the men are men, and we always were, then the dehumanizing of being a lying, scheming, cheating, conniving person trying to scam everybody and fool everybody that we're an opposite gender than we really are, that dehumanizes us and makes us targets for violence will stop. Right now, the people hurting us, beating the heck out of us, and murdering us is rising. The rate is rising.
Yes.
And if you were to just look at your calendars and realize that every single month in the United States, they're killing one of us. They're strangling us, they're stabbing us, they're shooting us, they're beating us to death by groups. Every single month.
There was one in Florida not too long ago that was a trans woman was burned to death.
Yes, and they dismember us.
Yes.
They dismember us. You can just go online, Google transgender woman murdered, and watch the pages that come up.
Yeah.
So the paradigm needs to shift. The paradigm needs to shift.
Okay.
We need to shift the entire public's viewpoint on who transgender people are, because a transgender woman is a woman, a transgender man is a man, and we always were. Always.
Okay, in our final minute, beyond your speech coming up in November, what's just go tag on it real quickly.
Well, I'm heading to New York soon, and I'm going to be going in. They don't know I'm coming.
Uh-oh.
They're gonna find out who I am. I'm going to be marching into all the LGBT organizations in New York City, and I'm going to try to talk to whoever their transgender leaders are in their communities. And I would like to get a chance to sit down with some of them, have some coffee with them, and talk about this change in how we speak, the change in how we should have America speak.
Great.
And it's the big civil rights issue of our time.
Yes, it is.
And they've got to stop killing us. And the only way they'll stop killing us is to know who we really are.
And Karen, I want to wrap up this segment by saying thank you for appearing with us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Sorry to get on my soapbox, but I kind of feel it a little bit
that's great.
passionately.
Yeah, that's the way I am too.
Yeah.
And my wife Gianna said to say hello.
Oh, you tell her I said hi.
Okay, I will when I get home at the end of the show today.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to see her in about 3 or 4 minutes because she's sitting in the audience here.
Oh.
So I'm very blessed to have you on my show today.
I'm glad to be here.
And please, when you're back in town, give me a call,
I'd
and
love to.
I'll be glad to put you on
I
at
will
any
speak
time.
anywhere that anybody wants to give me a place to speak.
Great.
The time is now to make the change. The time is now. And
Okay.
we are going to do it.
Great.
We're going to make
Thank
the
you.
changes.
Thank you for appearing on my show
Thanks for
today.
having
I
me.
appreciate it.
Oh, it was fun.
And with that, we'll be back after these commercial messages.
Confused about Medicare? Are you just becoming eligible for Medicare benefits? Or are you losing your retiree health coverage? Let us help. Kirby Insurance Services is licensed and trained to help you find a health plan that best suits your needs and, more importantly, your budget. Kirby Insurance Services proudly represents numerous Medicare Advantage and Medicare supplement companies offering a variety of insurance products. Located at Van Ness and Olive in the Mike Briggs Properties building in the Tower District, Kirby Insurance Services will help you navigate through your healthcare options. Call 559-824-0110 to schedule a no-cost insurance review or speak with a licensed broker. Again, that number is 559-824-0110. What's new at the Fulton 55? Fulton 55 is Fresno's hottest venue at Fulton and Divisadero.
You need your carpets cleaned, but you don't have a lot of money. The solution is JRT Carpet Cleaning. Clean up to 3 bedrooms, living room, and hall for just $99. Let the professionals do the job. Call JRT Carpet Cleaning today.
In 1985, Larry Korth set out to help his friends, family, and community find affordable ways to buy a home or a business property. 30 years later, Mid-Valley Financial is the premier mortgage banker in the Central Valley. The professional staff at Mid-Valley will find the best mortgage products for your family. Mid-Valley Financial takes great pride in being the Central Valley's local lender. Visit us at midvalleyfinancial.com.
Before you call one of those discount insurance places, you should know the facts. Fresno's CCIS can get you up to a 26% discount on your car, homeowners, and life insurance needs. Call 320-2247 or go to ccisinsurance.com.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
Hello, I'm Shelley at Horn Photo, and it's time to do more with your pictures. Get those images out of your camera, off your computer, and rescued from deep within your phone, and turn them into memorable photo keepsakes and gifts. Here at Horn Photo in Fresno, we have many wonderful photo items that we produce in-house, and we're here to help you find your individual style. So now's the time. Stop by Horn Photo in the Bellagio at Blackstone and East, or visit us online at hornphoto.com to explore the possibilities.
Open house this Sunday, 815 East McKinley, near Maroa. You could own this house for $1,800 a month. There's a whole apartment in the back that you could rent out for $1,200 a month and live in this house for $600 a month. Open house this Sunday. Go to MikeBriggsProperties.com for details.
Welcome back to CentralValleyTalk.com. I'm Mike Scott.
Vincent, thanks for coming in today.
No, it's Michelle again.
Michelle, Miss Stasis.
Guy Adams joins me once again. How are you, Guy? Good to see you.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
She's my old friend, not meaning age. We go way back. Miss Beverly Ray.
Watch the Central Valley Talk Hour, weekdays on Digital Channel 33.2. Weekdays at 3 p.m. All local, all live, all the time.
So we'll be back with more on CentralValleyTalk.com.
We'll see you next week.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
And welcome back to the Michelle Nastasis LGBT Awareness Show. And again, I want to thank KarenAdell Scot for appearing on tape with us. That was a previously taped segment that we did a couple days ago. Now, we're going to hit on something that has been a hot button topic for the last 2 years anyhow. And the fight's been going on longer than that. But you're starting to see a big momentum shift in this particular topic, and that's marriage equality. Whether you like it or not, marriage equality is coming. And the next question I have for you is this: are you ready for it? Here in California, we went through World War III with regards to Prop 8 and the lawsuits challenging it, and finally the Supreme Court struck it down. Now, the Supreme Court, about a week and a half ago, thereabouts, decided that they were not going to hear 7 cases from 5 different states. And essentially what they meant, or what is meant by that, is that the lower court decisions in favor of same-sex marriage and marriage equality is going to spread to other states, which it did. And there are now 11 more states that have quote-unquote joined the party. That brings the total to 30 plus Washington, D.C. that have marriage equality. And with the court's decision not to hear those 7 cases, there's 5 states: Utah, Indiana, Wisconsin, Virginia, and Oklahoma. Those 5 states, the same-sex marriage ban is immediately reversed. The Supreme Court, in deciding not to carry those, or to hear those cases, those were rulings from the 4th, 7th, and 10th districts. There's a case right now in Idaho that is pending, actually Idaho and Montana, about the 9th district. Here's the other thing that you're going to be seeing a lot more of, and these 3 particular states have actually said, okay, with the Supreme Court not wanting to hear these arguments against same-sex marriage, 3 states have basically taken it on themselves to go ahead and say, you know what, it's a waste of time and a waste of money to try to fight this because we're not getting anywhere with it. Those 3 states were North Carolina, Kansas, and Colorado. Now there's 2 others that are kind of on the fence as to whether or not they're going to start issuing licenses, and that's my beloved state of South Carolina and also Wyoming. Those 2 states have basically said, you know what, we're going to go with it for right now, but we're still going to challenge it. Gianna, one of the things that I know that we've talked about a lot in doing the prep work for this particular segment was Boulder County in Colorado. The clerk of the court there, who was part of the Colorado lawsuit, basically just threw in the towel, and she said, you know what, I'm not going to fight this anymore. And the governor of the state of Colorado said, you know what, go for it. We're not fighting anymore because we've lost it every single step of the way. One of the things that I know we talked about was the 10th Circuit Court, which basically is Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, and I think parts of Idaho as well. Can you give me a little bit about what your take is on just on the 10th Circuit, not on the Supreme Court, but just the 10th Circuit, saying, you know what, these cases have no merit, we don't want to talk about them?
Okay, the 9th Circuit.
It's the 10th Circuit.
Yeah, the 10th Circuit. I believe they ruled in favor equality in Utah and Boulder County.
Boulder County is in Colorado.
Yeah, okay. The Utah and Boulder County are the 10th Circuit.
Right.
Okay. They've decided to give her clearance, and I believe that. I believe it's going to be it's going to be worthwhile. I believe that they are the ones to, go for it. That's my take on it.
Okay. When I was writing the outline for this, it was 24 states, but it's actually now 30 states, plus the District of Columbia, that have extended full marriage rights to same-sex couples. Now, our marriage in certain states, like my home state of Texas, would not be recognized as legal.
Yes.
And the High Court, the Supreme Court, has basically issued stays to block same-sex marriages, or to block the appeals of same-sex marriages, in both Utah and Virginia. Okay? But the Virginia ruling also dovetailed North Carolina and South Carolina. Okay? Because that's all in the same district, or the same district court. The Utah fight, as you well know from reading all of the same articles that I have, basically was a fist fight with the church and state versus same-sex couples. Now, as we both know, and most of our viewers know, and I do not take a view on separation of church and state. The Constitution defines it. I settle it with that. Now, the church in Utah, which is the Mormon church, and I am not going to offend, or try not to offend, Mormons in our viewing audience. I will say this, that once the Supreme Court came down on the side of marriage equality in Utah, the church backed off. And I know you read an article the other day on just that topic, where the church in Utah said, we're not going to fight this. We don't like it, but we're not going to fight it. And I think that pretty much summed up the entire segment.
Yes.
The article that you read.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you shared it with me, but I didn't get a chance to read all of it. Now, one of the other people that has been instrumental in getting marriage equality on an urgency basis, and I mean really pushing it to the forefront, has been Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And Justice Ginsburg has been a vocal ally of same-sex marriage. In fact, not too long ago, she officiated over one or two it was?
Two. Yeah.
It was two?
It was two.
Okay. And there's all kinds of other information that has come out. Chad Griffin, president of the Human Rights Campaign, he was surprised by the Supreme Court's decision not to hear the cases. And his comment was this, that any time same-sex couples are extended marriage equality, that's something to celebrate. And when we got married back in June, that's exactly what we did. We celebrated because we knew that we were being handed the ultimate gift of equality. Yes, I am a trans woman. My wife is bisexual. That has nothing to do with it. Okay? She's a woman, I'm a woman, in same-sex marriage. The other thing that you have to watch with this is there's a very complex and very discriminatory patchwork of marriage laws across this country. And we're slowly chipping away at that barrier, that wall of true equality for everybody to marry the person that they love. And I'm going to wrap up this segment by saying this. The only acceptable solution is nationwide equality, and we as the LGBT community have to recommit ourselves to securing that victory, and we got to do it like right now, folks. We got to do it right now. And speaking of right now, we're going to end this segment and go on to a couple of commercial messages, and we'll be right back after this.
Confused about Medicare? Are you just becoming eligible for Medicare benefits, or are you losing your retiree health coverage? Let us help. Kirby Insurance Services is licensed and trained to help you find a health plan that best suits your needs and, more importantly, your budget. Kirby Insurance Services proudly represents numerous Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement companies offering a variety of insurance products. Located at Van Ness and Olive in the Mike Briggs Properties building in the Tower District, Kirby Insurance Services will help you navigate through your health care options. Call 559-824-0110 to schedule a no-cost insurance review or speak with a licensed broker. Again, that number is 559-824-0110. Hiring great talent is essential to your business. However, it's also time-consuming, and time is money. Contact Wolf Recruiting of Fresno and gain access to candidates you will not find on the open job market. Candidates through Wolf Recruiting are considered the best of the best. Why? Because they're gainfully employed. Whether it's technology, accounting, sales, or general administration, Wolf Recruiting's versatile background brings a solid foundation to confidentially identifying the very best talent. Call Wolf Recruiting at 877-589-9441 or find us on the web at wolfrecruiting.com.
You need your carpets cleaned, but you don't have a lot of money. The solution is JRT Carpet Cleaning. Clean up to 3 bedrooms, living room, and hall for just $99. Let the professionals do the job. Call JRT Carpet Cleaning today.
Open house this Sunday, 815 East McKinley, near Maroa. You could own this house for $1,800 a month. There's a whole apartment in the back that you could rent out for $1,200 a month and live in this house for $600 a month. Open house this Sunday. Go to MikeBriggsProperties.com for details.
Before you call one of those discount insurance places, you should know the facts. Fresno's CCIS can get you up to a 26% discount on your car, homeowners, and life insurance needs. Call 320-2247 or go to ccIsinsurance.com.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
What's new at the Fulton 55? Fulton 55 is Fresno's hottest venue at Fulton and Divisadero.
Open house this Saturday, 7752 North 8th Street near Millbrook. If you've been on your job or in your industry for a year, you can buy this home for under $1,200 per month. Stop by our open house this Saturday at 1. Go to MikeBriggsProperties.com for details.
In 1985, Larry Korth set out to help his friends, family, and community find affordable ways to buy a home or a business property. 30 years later, Mid-Valley Financial is the premier mortgage banker in the Central Valley. The professional staff at Mid-Valley will find the best mortgage products for your family. Mid-Valley Financial takes great pride in being the Central Valley's local lender. Visit us at midvalleyfinancial.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
And welcome back to the Michelle Nastasis LGBT Awareness Show. We're going to continue on our theme from the previous segment, but we're going to focus on one state right now. And that one state is Alaska. A federal judge just recently has struck down Alaska's same-sex marriage ban. Okay? And according to the Alaska Department of Vital Statistics, they're going to start accepting marriage license applications. Actually, they started Monday. That's how recent this decision is. And this was what I'm about to read was out of a article that was in the that was sent to me, and I forget where I got it from. Do you remember where I got it from, honey?
No.
I think I got it from one of our news sources.
Yeah.
But, okay, and this is what this 2-paragraph statement really sums it up beautifully. Anchorage, Dateline, Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska. Alaska will begin accepting marriage applications from same-sex couples this past Monday after a federal judge struck down the state's ban on gay marriage. One of the first 2 states that actually started prohibiting same-sex marriages. The decision late Sunday caught many, many people in Alaska off guard. No rallies were immediately planned, but some of the plaintiffs celebrated over drinks at an Anchorage bar. I know where I got this from. Matt Hamby sent it to me. Matthew Hamby, who sent me this article, so I have to give Matt props here, who with his husband, Christopher Sheldon, was one of the first 5 couples to sue, and they sat back and were just having drinks with the other couples just to enjoy the fact that they were able now to get married legally in Alaska. Another couple, Susan Toe and her wife, Chris Labordi, they were amongst the original base plaintiffs for this case, and they too were in Anchorage to celebrate the ruling. And Susan said, "What an amazing day for Alaska. We are so fortunate that so many people have fought so long for equality, and this goes back decades." As I stated earlier, the state will begin accepting marriage applications this past Monday, and that decision by the federal judge to overturn a state constitutional amendment, and that was approved 16 years ago. And it was also the same year that Hawaii passed its ban, but the state later recognized unions. And the Alaska amendment was the one that defined marriage as between one man and one woman. The judge heard the arguments on this case last Friday, and he released his 25-plus page decision Sunday afternoon. And one of his comments, and I think this is really telling, and Gianna, you can chime in after this and tell me what your thoughts are on this. Refusing the rights and responsibilities afforded by a legal marriage sends the public a government-sponsored message that same-sex couples and their familial relationships do not warrant the status, benefits, and dignity given to couples of the opposite sex. And that, I can't say it any better than that. And Gianna, I know you wanted to jump all over this because let's face it, if we were in Alaska right now, our marriage
Would not
prior
be,
to this ruling
would not be legal at all.
We would be committing a felony.
Yeah, big time, and then we both would be in jail, and that's not, that's not what we want. So we stay here in California, which is easier to deal with.
Right. But the ruling came right out and stated that same-sex couples are afforded the same benefits as couples given to opposite, quote-unquote, traditional marriage, and I hate that term, and I know you do too. But the judge summed this up so beautifully that he's saying status, benefits, and dignity. That's all we've ever asked for, is status, benefits, and dignity.
And we finally got it.
at least in one more
One
state.
Exactly. And it has been far too long that we needed this, and it is a long fight to go, like we all have said before. We need to be, fighting for this, and we have fought for one more state. Now, the other states will chime in line, and we need to at least discuss it with others that do need this, and we have fought, and now we've got a battle to deal with. So as far as I'm concerned with it, this is what we all needed, just
Yes.
equality.
Okay, now the next big battleground state is going to be my home state of Texas. And on the subject of equality, a lot of the pastors in my hometown of Houston have taken the current mayor, who, by the way, is an out lesbian. They have taken her to task at every turn that she comes out and makes a speech, and the pastors go absolutely haywire. So what she has done, and I give her major credit for doing this, she basically came out and said, fine, you want to criticize me from the pulpit, I want to see your sermons before you deliver them. And she has subpoenaed I think 20 or 25 different pastors across the Houston metro area for their copies of their sermons. Because if they're going to take her to task, she wants to know about it ahead of time.
Exactly.
And this is a toehold that we're getting in the state of Texas. And as my wife has heard me say thousands and thousands of times, hell hath no fury like a you-know-whatted Texan. Because they say everything's bigger in Texas. You doggone right it is. Because our attitudes are bigger, our arguments are bigger, and above all else, we don't take a lot of you-know-what from anybody. And I'm going to say this about my home state of Texas. Yes, they are self-righteous people, with good reason, okay? You don't fight for your freedom 170 plus years ago and not have at least a little bit of an attitude about it. Okay, in the last minute or so here, I just want to touch on what the Alaska governor said when he got word of this. He said that he would appeal the order to defend the Alaska Constitution. Word of advice, Governor Parnell, give it up. You're gonna lose. Give it up. And I don't care how conservative a governor you are, give it up. And with that, we're going to wrap up this segment and be back after these commercial messages.
Confused about Medicare? Are you just becoming eligible for Medicare benefits? Or are you losing your retiree health coverage? Let us help. Kirby Insurance Services is licensed and trained to help you find a health plan that best suits your needs and, more importantly, your budget. Kirby Insurance Services proudly represents numerous Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement companies offering a variety of insurance products. Located at Van Ness and Olive in the Mike Briggs Properties Building in the Tower District, Kirby Insurance Services will help you navigate through your healthcare options. Call 559-824-0110 to schedule a no-cost insurance review or speak with a licensed broker. Again, that number is 559-824-0110. What's new at the Fulton 55? Fulton 55 is Fresno's hottest venue at Fulton and Divisadero.
You need your carpets cleaned, but you don't have a lot of money. The solution is JRT Carpet Cleaning. Clean up to 3 bedrooms, living room, and hall for just $99. Let the professionals do the job. Call JRT Carpet Cleaning today.
In 1985, Larry Korth set out to help his friends, family, and community find affordable ways to buy a home or a business property. 30 years later, Mid-Valley Financial is the premier mortgage banker in the Central Valley. The professional staff at Mid-Valley will find the best mortgage products for your family. Mid-Valley Financial takes great pride in being the Central Valley's local lender. Visit us at midvalleyfinancial.com.
Before you call one of those discount insurance places, you should know the facts. Fresno's CCIS can get you up to a 26% discount on your car, homeowners, and life insurance needs. Call 320-2247 or go to ccisinsurance.com.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
Hello, I'm Shelley at Horn Photo, and it's time to do more with your pictures. Get those images out of your camera, off your computer, and rescued from deep within your phone, and turn them into memorable photo keepsakes and gifts. Here at Horn Photo in Fresno, we have many wonderful photo items that we produce in-house, and we're here to help you find your individual style. So now's the time. Stop by Horn Photo in the Bellagio at Blackstone and East, or visit us online at hornphoto.com to explore the possibilities.
Open house this Sunday, 815 East McKinley, near Maroa. You could own this house for $1,800 a month. There's a whole apartment in the back that you could rent out for $1,200 a month and live in this house for $600 a month. Open house this Sunday. Go to MikeBriggsProperties.com for details.
Back to CentralValleyTalk.com. I'm Mike Scott.
Vincent, thanks for coming in today.
No, it's Michelle again.
Michelle, Miss Stasis.
Guy Adams joins me once again. How are you, Guy? Good to see you.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
She's my old friend, not meaning age. We go way back. Miss Beverly Rain.
Watch the Central Valley Talk Hour, weekdays on digital channel 33.2. Weekdays at 3 p.m. All local, all live, all the time.
So we'll be back with more on CentralValleyTalk.com.
We'll see you next week.
CentralValleyTalk.com. And welcome back to the Michelle Nastasis LGBT Awareness Show. Now, in our fourth and final segment today, we're going to touch on something that is rather interesting in the way that it's presented. And officials in the Lincoln, Nebraska public school system are standing behind this. Their recommended strategies for transgender and gender nonconforming students to feel more comfortable no matter what the conservative outrage is. And having been to Lincoln, Nebraska more times than I care to admit to, and it's also home to one of the richest people on the face of this planet, and he's very, very conservative, by the way. Okay. They have adopted a series of recommendations for making classrooms more inclusive of transgender and gender nonconforming students. The Lincoln Journal-Star reported this, and before the school year had even started back in late August, early September, Lincoln Public School teachers were given training and educational material that encouraged them to stop gender-based bullying. Fantastic news right there, because today is called Spirit Day in the LGBT community, and to show support for the anti-bullying campaign. Unfortunately, we didn't wear the purple today, but everybody in the LGBT community was encouraged to wear purple. And what the Lincoln Public Schools wanted to do is they wanted to avoid gender-based expressions such as ladies and gentlemen or boys and girls. They wanted to use gender neutral alternatives, readers, campers, and the one that cracked me up, and I know we both were laughing when we read this, the nickname Purple Penguins. Another handout that was given to the staff and teachers discussed the continuum of sex and gender. And it pointed out that gender is more complicated than just the male-female binary. During the administrative leadership days prior to the start of the school year, Lincoln Public School officials discussed several news stories about transgender people and how to acquaint the staff with the issues surrounding trans students. I'm going to stop right there for half a second and say this was a good thing. They did it right. And now, needless to say, the response from the right wing was rather swift, rather loud, and extremely ill-informed. And our friends at Fox News decided that they were going to get in on the act here. Alan Colmes, who is as four corners conservative as you ever want to get, he stated that the school district had banned gender language altogether. Nothing could be further from the truth. And Gianna, needless to say, parents were outraged at the way the Journal Star portrayed this, and also the way that the school district was using taxpayer dollars to push political agendas. And give me your opinion on what some of these families have come out and stated. And I know that some of these families are so far off base. There's one lady, I think her name was Rachel Terry.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and tell me a little bit more about what Rachel had to say on this, because you mean talk about somebody that was way off base. This lady, from what you told me, was I mean she was way out in left field.
Yeah, way off in left field, and it just, oh my gosh, she just argued that LPS officials were promoting and the destruction of fundamental family and religious values. That is just way misinformed, and she's way off base. And you cannot imagine how left field she is.
Okay. Here's the thing that she missed. And this was stated beautifully by KarenAdell Scot in our first segment today, that what Rachel Terry is forgetting is that transgendered people are human. We're not second-class citizens. We're not third-class citizens. We're not different. No, we are human beings. We just had the misfortune of being born in the wrong bodies. And once we realized that we were more comfortable in the gender that we chose to be and that we have felt inside, then we could move forward. And much to my delight, the Lincoln Public School officials have come straight out and said this is a misrepresentation of our aims and our actions, and they have held firm in their regarding their responsibility to foster a safe environment for all children, including gender nonconforming students. Now, I don't like that terminology, but I'll leave that alone for right now. And they have come out and said, point blank, our purpose is to educate kids. Great. Give you major credit for that one. Mm-hmm. Okay? They also came out and said, we don't have no political agenda that we're pushing. period. We don't push our religious preferences on people or sexual preferences on people. And part of education, in addition to academics, is the feeling of welcomeness or inclusiveness. Perfectly said. And here's the last portion of this, and I'm going to take this almost verbatim for what the superintendent said. Never once has anyone inside our system mandated that a teacher take the words boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen out of their interactions with children or interactions with adults. There is no policy, there is no procedure, there are no changes being made to the bathrooms in the school. Thank you, you got it. And in the final minute here, Gianna, I know that the school district gave handouts and did individual trainings on trans inclusiveness. And just in a few brief words, what are your thoughts on what the Lincoln Public Schools did?
I give them major props. They have further gone through major steps to at least accept children as human beings. And that's what we've always wanted, the equality. We've also wanted at least the children to understand, and they have did it the right way, and they are human beings. There is no other way of saying it. We are equality. We are the people that understands the LGBT community, and that is, I give them major props, and I am very, very proud of what they have done.
And with that last statement by Gianna, we're going to bring this episode of the Michelle Nastasis LGBT Awareness Show to a close. And y'all have a good weekend, and we'll see you right back here next Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Y'all take care now. Bye.
Confused about Medicare? Are you just becoming eligible for Medicare benefits? Or are you losing your retiree health coverage? Let us help. Kirby Insurance Services is licensed and trained to help you find a health plan that best suits your needs and, more importantly, your budget. Kirby Insurance Services proudly represents numerous Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement companies offering a variety of insurance products. Located at Van Ness and Olive in the Mike Briggs Properties building in the Tower District, Kirby Insurance Services will help you navigate through your health care options. Call 559-824-0110 to schedule a no-cost insurance review or speak with a licensed broker. Again, that number is 559-824-0110. Hiring great talent is essential to your business. However, it's also time-consuming, and time is money. Contact Wolf Recruiting of Fresno and gain access to candidates you will not find on the open job market. Candidates through Wolf Recruiting are considered the best of the best. Why? Because they're gainfully employed. Whether it's technology, accounting, sales, or general administration, Wolf Recruiting's versatile background brings a solid foundation to confidentially identifying the very best talent. Call Wolf Recruiting at 877-589-4441 or find us on the web at wolfrecruiting.com.
You need your carpets cleaned, but you don't have a lot of money. The solution is JRT Carpet Cleaning. Clean up to 3 bedrooms, living room, and hall for just $99. Let the professionals do the job. Call JRT Carpet Cleaning today.
Open house this Sunday, 815 East McKinley, near Maroa. You could own this house for $1,800 a month. There's a whole apartment in the back that you could rent out for $1,200 a month and live in this house for $600 a month. Open house this Sunday. Go to MikeBriggsProperties.com for details.
Before you call one of those discount insurance places, you should know the facts. Fresno's CCIS can get you up to a 26% discount on your car, homeowners, and life insurance needs. Call 320-2247 or go to ccisinsurance.com.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call solar negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call solar negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
What's new at the Fulton 55?
CentralValleyTalk.com